Let me guess. Phone screens or interviews make you nervous, right? Well, not to worry. Stay tuned because in this video, I'm going to give you 5 secrets for how you can ace any phone interview with any company. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Cliff Allen. I work as a recruiter by day, and by night I use that insider knowledge from my job to give you knowledge and tips and tricks to help you further along your career journey. So be sure to hit that bell and hit that subscribe button so you can see further videos from me that are going to help you further along your career path. Now, phone interviews can be nerve-wracking for a lot of reasons. It's perfectly fine and natural to feel nervous about an interview. In fact, even myself, when I used to do interviews before I started working as a recruiter, I would get really nervous because I wouldn't know what they were going to be asking me or what they expected for me to know or be ready to do or talk about for the role. But ever since I've been working as a recruiter and I've learned these insider tips and these 5 secrets that I'm going to share with you, I've been able to be way more at ease whenever I have a phone interview. And in fact, I always feel like I'm in control. And most of the time, I'm able to go on from the phone interview stage to talking to a manager or going to an on-site interview because of these 5 secrets. So without further ado, let's get started.
Let's get it started in here.
So secret number 1 is whenever you start a phone interview, you want to be in control when the call starts. So what does that mean? I mean, you don't want to be driving. You don't want to have a lot of background noise in the room around you. You don't want other people coming in, walking in on you while you're having the meeting. You want to control your environment and be in control of yourself for when the call comes. So for example, let's say you're going to the grocery store and a recruiter gives you a call and they're like, hey, we saw your application. We were wondering if we can ask you a few questions related to the role. You'll say graciously, thank you so much for calling. At this time, I am not available. However, can I give you a call back in an hour? Or can we schedule some time for later this afternoon, etc. The company is interested in getting to know more about you, so they'll be more than happy to reschedule to discuss the role with you. Even better if they email you or call you to set up a time, all right? So you always want to give yourself enough time to prepare for the call because there's going to be several things that you need to get ready for later on down the line that I'm going to talk about. So remember, secret number 1, you want to be in control. So secret number 2 is going to be that you need to master your why. And by why, I mean, why do you want to work for this company specifically? Sure, it might pay well or they might have a great benefits package, but that's not going to be a good enough answer for them to choose you amongst everyone else who's applying for this role. Remember, the interview process is a competition between you and a bunch of other qualified candidates. So in addition to finding someone who's qualified, they want someone who's going to be a good fit and who values their values or who wants to stay with that company long term. So what was attractive about this company? Do they do anything culturally? Are there any insider employee development options that you heard about? Did you know about a certain employee that works that you wanted to work with? What's something unique about that company that you can tie to yourself and present to them that's really going to demonstrate, hey, this is why I want to be here. And it's a reason that's not superficial, right? Also, you want to think of this aspect as more of an elevator pitch. So you don't want to spend too much time talking about your why. You really want this to be like a 60 to 90 seconds, probably top pitch about who you are, what you're about, what you liked about the company, how you want to join their group and really help them take off in a new direction or work together with them in order to achieve a certain effect based on what you've observed, all right? So that's the why. So moving forward, for secret number 3, it's going to be that you need to be prepared to talk compensation. So many people are afraid to discuss, finances or salary when it comes to a job because they're afraid that they're going to scare the company away by asking for too much, or they're also afraid that they're going to lowball themselves and not ask for enough. So you need to do your research before the call to be prepared to talk about this. Also, you need to be aware of your rights as an employee in terms of discussing your current salary. Over 17 states and 19 localities have made it illegal for companies to ask you how much you currently make. So for a lot of places, they shouldn't be asking that question. And for areas where it's still legal to do so, you're not obligated to answer them. You could potentially sidestep that question by saying something like, I'd be more comfortable to discuss my salary expectations than what I'm currently making at this moment. All right, because remember, they need to be able to pay you for what you can do for them, not necessarily what you've been doing so far. And a good way to be able to do some research, to understand the market value of this role, there's online sites like Glassdoor, a lot of other job board places like Monster or Career Builder, etc. They have features where you can actually look up a type of position and see what the market range is for that role. So you can use that market range as your your range that you present when you go speak with them. You know, you never really want to go at them with like a specific number unless you're a person who, I want to make this much or I'm not going to work there. If that's you, then by all means stick to your guns. But if you're not sure, you want to have more of a range so that way you can be willing to discuss. And whenever you're talking salary, you always want to be open to discussing it further as the process continues. So you want to be like, you know, my expectations based on what I understand about the market value for this area is going to be around 65 to 75K, but I'm open to negotiating as we go further along in the recruitment process. Something like that. Also, you need to be aware if it's a job located in another city, you need to ask the company if they have any type of relocation reimbursement or any relocation packages available to help you to be able to move from where you are currently to where that job is located. Now, all this information is necessary for you as you make your decision as to whether or not you want to continue to pursue this job. Okay, so moving right along, we're going to move on to secret number 4. And secret number 4 is that stories with outcomes are the key to success for any interview. All right, remember, stories with outcomes. If you think about it, whenever you meet new people or you go into a new environment, there's a lot of information thrown at you at once. What's more readily available or apparent to your memory is a story, not necessarily the most important information. So for a recruiter, let's say the recruiter is going to call 6 to 10 people in a day, or maybe 4 to 6, you don't know their schedule. But if they talk to X number of people and you don't leave them with a solid story about yourself, you're going to end up being forgettable. And if you're forgettable, that might impact how much they recommend you to move on to the next steps versus another candidate who left an impactful impression about themselves when they were discussing their experiences and their background and what they've done in the past. So remember, when you're talking about your past experiences, you want to present it as, hey, there was this time when I had this scenario and I dealt with that scenario by doing X, Y, and Z. And because of my actions doing X, Y, and Z, we were able to achieve this result, right? The result part is very important, all right? The format I just described to you is also known as STAR format: situation, task, action, results, all right? The results are what you were able to achieve based on your action. So by being able to demonstrate the outcomes from what you were doing, and positive outcomes is always something that companies are going to be looking for and that most people leave out when they're discussing their past experiences. And last but not least, we have secret number 5. And secret number 5 is a very important secret in the interviewing process. Whenever you interview with someone, whether it's on site or on the phone, you need to ask questions at the end of the interview, all right? You have to ask them questions. By asking questions, you show that you were being attentive during the call or conversation, whether you're asking genuine questions that are meaningful and show that you are introspectively considering them and their role, all right? And then you also want to use this time to ask questions to give yourself clarity and clear up any misunderstandings. And so as a bonus for you staying this long within my video, I'm going to give you actually a question that you should probably ask at the end of every interview that you have, because it forces the company to put all their cards on the table. So whenever you interview with anyone, whether it's on the phone or in person, you should ask them, do you have any reservations with putting me in this role? And so at that point, hopefully they'll be honest and saying, you know, maybe you don't have enough experience, or maybe you're lacking this quality, or no, maybe you're a great fit, etc. Whatever they say, you want to be able to either, if it's positive, you want to confirm that, being like, I agree, you know, I'm really glad to hear that you guys see me in a positive light. I think I can do great in this role because of X, Y, and Z. If they feel that you lack something, you just want to affirm or reassure them that despite that fact, you can do well in the role because of these other factors. You know, that's only going to go so much further for helping and put in their minds, hey, this person is the ideal fit that we need to fill this position. All right, so those are my 5 secrets for how you can ace any phone interview or phone screen that you face. If you want to further engage with me on different platforms, I have a Facebook group that I've created where sometimes I'll leave some interesting business articles or other videos that I've created. You can also email me here if you're interested in asking me any specific questions or reaching out to me to help do some consulting with you on your own career journey. Lastly, if you liked the video, leave some comments, share it with your friends if you think it'll be helpful for them, and most importantly, subscribe, because I'm going to be releasing more content that's going to help you further along your career journey. All right, so take care.